as we inch closer and closer to the big night. This is the second to last stop on the road to Fort Worth, on the road to the Battleground Premium Live event. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the American Airlines Center here in Dallas, Texas, as we are live for the final Monday Night Raw just before Battleground. And tonight, there will be big implications for each and every superstar here on the Red Brand as things have continued to get even more heated than they already were here on Monday Night Raw. As you can see, we are sold out for the last stop for the Red Brand getting towards Battleground. And tonight, we have ourselves a good night in store for you. Of course, last week, we would see the return of main event Jey Uso. And unfortunately for Jey Uso, his return was thwarted by the Vision. So tonight, Jey Uso is in the building. But the question is, which member of the Vision is he going to be facing? We find out later tonight as main event Jey Uso is back in action one-on-one against either Braun Breaker or Bronson Reed. And also, coming up here tonight, these two men will meet at Battleground for the World Heavyweight Championship. But tonight, the champion Gunther and the challenger LA Knight are in action. It is pick your poison. Gunther picks LA Knight's opponent, and LA Knight picks Gunther's opponent. It is going to be a great night here tonight on Raw, and we are going to waste any time with Pick Your Poison, ladies and gentlemen, because the first matchup of the night contains the megastar, the challenger for the World Heavyweight Championship.
The following contest is scheduled for one fall, making his way to the ring from Los Angeles, California, weighing in at 240 pounds.
It is the megastar, the challenger, LA Knight, kicking us off here tonight in singles action as we will see who the World Heavyweight Champion Gunther has selected to compete against LA Knight here tonight. Already a ruckus crowd here in Dallas, and you got to imagine what it is going to feel like when we get to Battleground in Fort Worth when the championship is on the line. But right now, LA Knight cannot worry about Battleground. He's got to worry about right here and right now, looking to build some momentum heading into the World Championship match. But the question is, who is his opponent? Well, hold on a second here. This is a pleasant surprise. Well, ladies and gentlemen, if you are somehow unfamiliar with this man, this is El Hijo del Vikingo, one of the greatest Mexican luchadors there is on the planet. Just 29 years of age is El Hijo del Vikingo, and he's already had a very accomplished career. Of course, a two-time AAA Mega Champion, a AAA Latin American champion, and also a AAA World Trios champion. El Hijo del Vikingo, what a phenomenal find for the Ring General, the World Heavyweight Champion Gunther, clearly doing his scouting, and he has selected one of the greatest luchadors on the planet to take on LA Knight here tonight. And if you're LA Knight, how do you even begin to prepare for a man such as El Hijo del Vikingo? We are going to see exactly how LA Knight is able to respond. I gotta say, this is going to be a good one. LA Knight and El Hijo del Vikingo. As we know, the WWE purchasing AAA now officially under the WWE banner, and that allows superstars such as Vikingo to make an appearance, and it seems like he's going to cash it in right here, right now, as Gunther has selected Vikingo to take on LA Knight here tonight. Well, out of the gate, LA Knight seems to be in control as we are underway here in Dallas. I can't believe it, ladies and gentlemen. El Hijo del Vikingo is in the building here tonight, ladies and gentlemen. I didn't think we'd ever see him here in the WWE. There's been no rumors, there's been no chirping about any AAA talent starting to make their way into the waters of Raw or SmackDown. But tonight, that just blew that all out of the water. Vikingo is here, and he is looking to stop LA Knight in his tracks. Well, I cannot wait to see what we're going to see out of this contest, and this is just the opening contest. God knows who LA Knight chose to face Gunther later tonight in our main event. Of course, as we know, Jey Uso will be taking on one member of the Vision, but the question is, which member will that be? We will also find that out later tonight. But as of right now, we must focus on the #1 contender for the World Heavyweight Championship. Of course, Battleground coming up very, very soon. This is the final Raw before the Battleground Premium Live event, and LA Knight has the opportunity of a lifetime. Of course, other matchups to take place include the WWE Women's Championship on the line as the champion, the de facto leader of the Judgment Day. I mean, a lot of people say that she's the head honcho. Of course, we are referring to the champion, Liv Morgan, WWE Women's Champion over on SmackDown, will be defending the gold against Lyra Valkyria. And also there will be the Intercontinental Championship on the line as the champion, Seth freaking Rollins, looks to get past Solo Sikoa. All that and more going on at Battleground. We will give you the full rundown later tonight. And of course, 2 weeks after Battleground will be Saturday night's main event, where the Women's Tag Team Championships, the Women's United States Championship, and the Women's Intercontinental Championship, all those titles will be on the line on that night in Philadelphia. Big shows coming up for WWE 2 weeks apart. But as of right now, LA Knight not looking too well against Vikingo, as Vikingo has been able to gain momentum and gain control of this contest. Right now, Vikingo has LA Knight. This is not where LA Knight wants to be. My goodness, face first off the canvas. And now here's Vikingo. Oh my goodness, look at the ability. Into the cover now. Is he going to be able to defeat LA Knight here? There's a kick out at 2. Well, right now, Vikingo's got LA Knight right where he wants him. The Megastar not looking too good, as now there's a Hurricane Rana there for Vikingo. And now to the top rope. Oh my goodness, just a tad bit off on that moonsault. And now LA Knight looking to take advantage as Vikingo crashed and burned off the moonsault. There's a kick out. And now LA Knight, what's he planning to do? He's not going to do anything there after that huge kick by Vikingo. And now there's the blockbuster. And now LA Knight in prime position. Vikingo's on the top rope now. And there's a big frog splash right there. I gotta say, Vikingo has looked pretty solid in this matchup. The WWE Universe, however, not taking too kindly to Vikingo here tonight in Dallas. And there's a kick out again by LA Knight, emphatic one, if I may add. Of course, wherever the champion is, Gunther, we know he's in the building because he will be in action in our main event later tonight. You know he is watching this matchup very closely, trying to get any more intel on LA Knight, as much intel as he can before he defends the gold against the Megastar in Fort Worth. Right now, LA Knight trying to fight his way back into the contest. Vikingo has been busted open, and right now, LA Knight in full control. LA Knight now trying to go back after Vikingo. And now off the apron with the double axe handle. And the WWE Universe fully behind LA Knight here tonight. Will they be fully behind the Megastar going into the World Heavyweight Championship matchup? Vikingo's in trouble. He's got to find a way to fight his way back into this contest. But this has been a great showing for the AAA superstar. Now LA Knight calling Vikingo up to his feet here. Now, oh my goodness, that big knockout punch. LA Knight hit that earlier. But he is not done. What is the Megastar's game plan now? Has Vikingo on his shoulders, and there's a nice power slam. Now, wait a minute here. LA Knight looking for that patented elbow drop, and he got it. Big elbow drop by LA Knight. Falling into the cover, the leg is hooked, but unfortunately for LA Knight, Vikingo is still in the fight. The Megastar has yet to win this contest. And now sending Vikingo into the corner. Now, try for the boot. Vikingo, though, able to kick him away to the second rope now. And there's a shotgun drop kick off the middle rope. Now, Vikingo, what's the game plan here? Vikingo, look at the power of Elio Del Vikingo slamming down LA Knight. And now Vikingo is going to head to the top rope. LA Knight is in prime position. Vikingo with that 630. He's won many championships with that maneuver, but tonight it won't put away the Megastar just yet. Vikingo hit his best shot, but at the end of the day, the Megastar is still in the fight. What will Vikingo have to do now? And now Vikingo sending LA Knight to the floor. Vikingo looking to fly here over the top rope, taking out LA Knight. Well, I gotta say, ladies and gentlemen, love him or hate him, Vikingo has had a phenomenal performance in this matchup. Oh my goodness, what the hell was that? Onto the floor goes Vikingo. LA Knight just got squished. Oh my goodness, the Megastar is in deep trouble. Vikingo is having his way right now in the later moments of this matchup against LA Knight. Here's LA Knight, though, starting to fight his way back into the contest. Big strike there by LA Knight. And now raining down the boots in the corner onto Elio Del Vikingo. This has been a hard-fought contest to open up the show as LA Knight looks to build up any momentum he can heading into Battleground. Back into the corner goes Vikingo. Now to the top rope, LA Knight sets him. Oh my goodness, what is going on here? LA Knight has a hold of Vikingo, and there's that side slam on the top of the buckle. Into the cover, hooking the leg. Does the Megastar have the win? Vikingo got the shoulder up. LA Knight's got to stay focused. He's got to continue to do what he can. Probably look for the BFT there, but Vikingo not allowing it. And now Vikingo rolling into the Mahi straw. LA Knight in huge trouble. Is the Megastar going to give up here? Oh, barely got the shoulder up. And now Vikingo with the takedown. My goodness. LA Knight groggily getting to his feet, but Vikingo with that big running punch. And now Vikingo, what's the game plan here? Up on the shoulders, Hurricane Rana again. LA Knight is down in the middle of the squared circle. Vikingo going back to the top. Is he looking once again for the 630? Oh my goodness, he's going to do it. He's going to beat the #1 contender for the World Heavyweight Championship. Not just yet. And if you're Vikingo, 2 630s, and at the end of the day, it did not defeat the Megastar. It was not enough to take down LA Knight here in Dallas. LA Knight avoiding Vikingo, whatever he was trying to do as LA Knight came off the ropes. BFT out of nowhere. Blunt forced trauma. And that is going to do it for Vikingo services. It only takes one blunt force trauma out of nowhere. And LA Knight secures a hard-fought victory over Vikingo, who showed up and showed out for AAA, ladies and gentlemen. What a performance by Vikingo. You gotta give your hats off to him. But the Megastar's got too much at risk. He could not allow a loss here tonight. And with that one BFT, he has just put the World Heavyweight Champion on notice.
Here is your winner,
LA Knight gets one step closer. One step closer to what he believes is his destiny. That destiny is to finally become world champion. And at Battleground, ladies and gentlemen, and if he can hit that one emphatic BFT, that is exactly what will happen. LA Knight, Gunther, one-on-one at Battleground for the World Heavyweight Championship. That is going to be a good one, and we will see Gunther later tonight in our main event. But to move on to other things, ladies and gentlemen, let's take a look back at last week here on Monday Night Raw. The return of main event Jey Uso. It had been a couple of weeks since we seen Jey Uso, ever since him and his brother Jimmy were unsuccessful at Backlash to claim the World Tag Team titles. Jey Uso touched on that a little bit, and he touched on that not only are they looking to get back the tag team supremacy, they also want single supremacy. And whoever wanted to step in the way of the Usos, they were going to put them down no matter what. And that is when he was interrupted by Paul Heyman, of course, the man that is guiding Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed of the Vision. And Paul Heyman basically saying, look, you saw what happened to CM Punk, Javon Evans, and Jacob Fatu. We do not want you to be the next one. Jey Uso, of course, not buying what Paul Heyman was selling, and that is when Heyman would exit the ring, and Bronson Reed would then come on the attack of main event Jey Uso. And a vicious assault by the Auszilla that would basically just torture Jey Uso. And it would result in not one, but two tsunamis. And also this big splash right here. I guess you could call this a tsunami as well if you'd like. But that big splash as well through the announce table. And just when you think Bronson Reed was done, he would hit the final tsunami of the night as Jey Uso was down onto the floor. And tonight, Jey Uso looks for a matter of revenge against the Vision, but the question is, which member will he be facing? We don't have to wait long to figure that out either, ladies and gentlemen, because Jey Uso is live here in Dallas, and this matchup is up next. This is Jey's first matchup back since Backlash in the World Tag Team title matchup, and he is ready and locked in.
It's scheduled for one fall, making his way to the ring, representing the Usos from San Francisco, California, weighing in at 242 pounds.
I guess to my surprise, ladies and gentlemen, there is no Jimmy Uso with Jey Uso here tonight. There is no Big Jim. It seems like Jey Uso is going it alone here tonight against a member of the Vision. The gear is on, the laces are tied up, and Jey Uso is yeeting all over Dallas, Texas. Jey Uso is always one for a party, but when it comes down to the nitty-gritty, he has no problem getting business done in the middle of that 20x20 box. But now is the time for Jey Uso to figure out exactly which member of the Vision he will be facing here tonight. Will it be Braun Breaker? Will it be Bronson Reed? It is time to finally see which member Paul Heyman chose to, in his words, when I spoke to him earlier today, dismantle and end Jey Uso. These two monsters have ransacked the Monday Night Raw roster for the past month. Well, we just got our answer. It's going to be the man that was responsible for the assault on Jey Uso last week, the man that hit 2 tsunamis and put Jey Uso through our announce table. It's going to be the Auszilla Bronson Reed in one-on-one action here tonight. I guess Braun Breaker is out here just in case Jey Uso gets a little too crazy in this matchup. We've seen Braun Breaker get involved in matchups involving Bronson Reed before. Of course, these two men, like we said, have ransacked the Monday Night Raw roster, starting with the Samoan werewolf, Jacob Fatu. We haven't seen Jacob for about a month ever since the Division took him out. Then, of course, a couple of weeks ago, it was then the young OG Javon Evans who had been trying to step up to the vision about what happened to Jacob Fatu, and Braun Breaker sent him packing, and we haven't seen the young OG since. And then, almost choked here on commentary. That is my bad. My goodness, these two immediately going at it here in the middle of the squared circle, raining the strikes down, and Jey Uso seems to have the advantage. Here comes main event Jey Uso. Well, as we were saying before, I nearly choked on my water here. Of course, they took out Jacob Fatu, they took out Javon Evans, and then, of course, last week, before the show even got started, we would see Braun Breaker, the footage of Braun Breaker finding CM Punk in the back and assaulting the best in the world. It seems like the Vision are going after the main guys here on Monday Night Raw, going after the Samoan werewolf Jacob Fatu, who has been a rising star, Javon Evans, who has definitely been a rising star over the years here in the WWE. Paul Heyman tried to recruit Javon Evans to join the Vision, and clearly Javon Evans was not having it. And then, of course, taking out the voice of the voiceless, CM Punk, one of the biggest names we have in the industry, period. You gotta think this is quite the resume that the Vision is starting to build for themselves. And tonight, Jey Uso could possibly be next if he is not careful. But as it seems right now, main event Jey Uso in full control. He wants to yeet a little bit with the crowd, and they indeed give it to him. As Paul Heyman and Braun Breaker look on, Bronson Reed trying to fight his way back into the matchup. But right now, Jey Uso all over the Auszilla. Oh, wait a minute, missed that strike there. And oh my goodness, big headbutt there by Bronson Reed. And down went Jey Uso almost immediately. And now Bronson with a big power bomb. Of course, Jey Uso, multi-time Intercontinental Champion, multi-time Tag Team Champion, a former World Champion is main event Jey Uso, former Royal Rumble winner. His main event at WrestleMania. There isn't much that Jey Uso has not done. And Bronson Reed is looking to add another name to the resume of the Vision by taking out Jey Uso here tonight for good. You could count last week if you wanted to, but Jey Uso is still standing on his feet as of right now, fighting against the Vision. As, oh my God, big splash in the corner, just flattened Jey Uso did Bronson Reed. Now you can see Braun Breaker here taking off the turnbuckle padding. There's no reason for them to do that. I don't think there's a reason for the Vision to use any type of weaponry to try to cheat at all. I mean, you can just look at these two guys. They're weapons on their own right. And somehow Paul Heyman has brought these two together under the same banner, under the same mission statement. And now Jey Uso sent to the outside right in front of Braun Breaker and Paul Heyman, and this is not good. Paul Heyman and Braun staring down at main event Jey Uso as he tries to gain his bearings, trying to gain his wherever the hell he is at the moment. Now starting to slowly but surely get to his feet. And now right in front of the referee clearly seeing Braun Breaker put his hands on Jey Uso. Even though Braun is not a legal competitor in this matchup, he did not sign the dotted line to be in this match, and yet he still put his hands on Jey Uso, giving him right back to Bronson Reed. Well, you got to watch Braun Breaker and Paul Heyman. As now, oh my goodness, well that was almost a very bad collision right there. Bronson Reed tried to send him into the corner. I don't think Bronson even knew that turnbuckle padding was off. The referee did though. That's why he walked over there and he nearly got ran over by Jey Uso. Well, thank goodness that nothing bad happened in that moment to our official. We need all the referees we're going to get here. As now, oh my God, another running senton there by Bronson Reed. Bronson Reed right now all over Jey Uso. Now he's got that claw on the shoulder trap area of main event Jey Uso. Jey Uso's got to find a way to fight himself back into this contest because Bronson Reed has been all over Jey. Been a phenomenal matchup. As sweeping the leg is Jey Uso. Down goes Bronson Reed. Maybe, just maybe, that was the opening that Jey Uso needed to fight his way back into the matchup. Block punch by Reed. And now Bronson Reed getting a couple punches in here on main event Jey Uso. Jey Uso able to move out of the way. Super kick to the gut. Followed up with the uppercut. Main event Jey Uso trying to fight his way back into the contest. He's taking a lot of punishment. Now can he dish it back to the Auszilla? Bronson Reed in huge trouble. And now Reed is sent to the outside. Main event Jey Uso looking to fly, and he will, taking out Bronson Reed. Main event Jey Uso slowly but surely getting himself back into the match. Oh, and a splash off the apron, a running splash at that. Main event Jey Uso getting back into the contest here. Bronson Reed trying to get back to his feet, but Jey Uso, wait a minute here. Well, I guess he decided against it here. Jey Uso now on the apron is, oh my God, sweeping the leg down, and he took that apron hard to the back. Jey Uso possibly tried to do a little too much right there, and now Bronson Reed has control. Powerbomb on the apron, and oh my God. The destruction caused by the Vision is sometimes too much to watch. Just like that, as Jey Uso was trying to build momentum, Bronson Reed took it all away in one fell swoop. And now Bronson Reed with Jey Uso on his shoulders into the Death Valley Driver. Jey Uso, though, still in the matchup. There's still fight left in main event Jey Uso. The question is how much fight is left? How much is left in the gas tank of Jey Uso? Is it enough to be able to take down Bronson Reed here tonight? As Bronson Reed continues to control this matchup, continues to control the punishment of Jey Uso here tonight. Paul Heyman gave Jey Uso a fair warning. He told Jey to go away for just a little bit more until the Vision is done with what they had to do. And Jey Uso said, nah, bring them all on. He told Paul Heyman that was his warning shot. And it seems like right now, wait a minute here, Jey Uso getting a little bit funky. There's more yeeting there. Oh my goodness, the big punch downs Bronson Reed. And oh, wait a minute here. Look at this. Braun Breaker. As soon as Jey Uso got something big, here's Braun Breaker on the damn apron, costing Jey Uso all the momentum. Into the cover off the suplex there. Jey Uso got the shoulder up, and Braun Breaker and Paul Heyman cannot believe it. And Bronson Reed starting to get a little bit furious. And now, oh my God, what a clothesline. I don't know how much is left in Jey Uso. I don't know what more Jey Uso can give to this matchup here tonight. Wait a minute. Spoke too soon. Jey Uso getting the knee up. Big punch there by Jey. And now he's going to follow it up once again with some more yeeting. Followed up with that big strike once again. Just busted open the Auszilla. No distraction from Braun Breaker or Paul Heyman that time around. And now, oh, look at that Samoan drop. Jey Uso now has Bronson Reed right where he wants him. There's the spear by main event Jey Uso. Oh my God. That was so close. Jey Uso had him, but Bronson Reed got the shoulder up just in time. To the second rope now. Uso trying for the crossbody, not going. And now Bronson Reed sends Jey Uso to the corner. This is not good. What is the Ozilla looking for here? Jey Uso kicks him away. Main event, Jey Uso now with the suplex. Down goes Bronson Reed. Jey Uso now trying to drag the carcass of Bronson Reed now. Gets the boot, does Jey Uso, and now Jey Uso heading to the top. Main event, Jey Uso with the Uso splash, hooking the leg. This is it. Jey Uso is going to pick up the win. No, he's not. What more needs to be done? Oh, look at this. Look at this once again. Braun Breaker and Paul Heyman getting into the ear of Jey Uso. Well, Jay's been around long enough. He should know that he cannot get distracted like this. And now Jay with a big running kick onto Bronson Reed. You see Paul Heyman there trying to grab the leg of Jey Uso. Jey Uso trying to go outside and do something about it. And he just, oh my goodness. Braun Breaker just hit a forearm to the back of Jey Uso, and the referee not going to do a damn thing about it. Well, Jey Uso ended up taking out Braun Breaker. He had enough, and now Bronson Reed with a big head, but the numbers game is just too much right now. Oh, no. No, not like this. Bronson Reed to the top rope. Tsunami, no! Jey Uso got the knees up. Jey Uso trying to take advantage of the situation. Able to avoid the tsunami is Jey Uso this time around, getting the knees up. And now Jey Uso, he's got Bronson Reed right where he wants him. Back to the top, a second Uso splash. That's it. That's going to do it. Oh, you've got to be kidding me. Paul Heyman in the ear of Jey Uso. And you got to think, you got to think Jey Uso probably would have won this matchup had it not been for Paul Heyman right then and there. The Uso splash hit with perfection, and now Bronson Reed, oh my God, a running sit-out power bomb. You've got to be kidding me. And now Jey Uso on the shoulders of Bronson Reed, the Death Valley driver again. Oh, you've got to be kidding me now. The numbers game of the Vision getting the best of Jey Uso, followed up with a tsunami. Braun Breaker falling into the cover. Damn it. I know we're supposed to be unbiased here on commentary, ladies and gentlemen, but that was just ridiculous. Jey Uso had Bronson Reed dead to rights. He had Bronson Reed dead to rights with the second Uso splash of the matchup. But the distractions from the Vision on the outside and the numbers game get the better of Jey Uso here tonight. This is unbelievable. Bronson Reed has vanquished main event Jey Uso. And look at this. You can just see how proud of themselves they are. Bronson Reed picking up the win over Jey Uso. Of course, without the help of Paul Heyman and Braun Breaker, it could have been the opposite here tonight. The Vision stand tall. Oh no, wait a minute here. Now Paul Heyman barking some orders to Bronson Reed and Braun Breaker. Jey Uso's in huge trouble. He's down and out. They could possibly be looking to take out Jey Uso for good. Wait a minute! Big Brother Big Jim to the rescue! Big Jim is in fact in the building here tonight. He knew that Jey Uso would possibly get himself into this situation. And Big Jim is here and he is looking to get right into the face of the Vision. Well, why he wasn't out here with Jay during the matchup, I don't know. Maybe Jay told him to stay in the back, but he takes down Bronson Reed, and now the brawl is on between the Usos and the Vision. These two teams going back and forth as Braun Breaker taken out of the ring, Bronson Reed downed by Big Jim, and the Usos right now standing tall over the Vision. Oh my goodness. Well, things are getting heated between the Vision and the Monday Night Raw roster. Bronson Reed did pick up the victory here tonight, yes, but the Vision just got outclassed by the Usos. Well, as we know, ladies and gentlemen, as we're back live here on Raw, things between the Motor City Machine Guns and the New Day have gotten very heated, very personal, very quickly. Taking you back a couple of weeks ago here on Raw, where the World Tag Team Champions, the Motor City Machine Guns, in their first match as the champions, picked up a hard-fought win over American Made, and as we would see, Woods and Kingston of the New Day come out to assault the World Tag Team Champions. Of course, Kofi and Xavier felt very disrespected that they were not in the conversation or involved in the World Tag Team title matchup at Backlash. And then, of course, last week here on Monday Night Raw, we would see the New Day go 2-on-2 with Hank and Tank, two young, up-and-coming competitors here in the Raw Tag Team division. And Xavier Woods would hit this package pile driver right here onto Hank, and then that would secure the victory for the New Day. And after that matchup, we would see the arrival of the World Tag Team Champions confronting the New Day and talking a little bit of trash from the stage. These two teams have been ready to get their hands on each other for a minute. And it will finally come to blows, ladies and gentlemen, as next week here on Monday Night Raw, things are finally going to go down. The World Tag Team Championships are on the line. The New Day, Kofi Kingston, and Xavier Woods get their wish. They will have a chance at the gold as they take on Alex Shelley, Chris Sabin, the Motor City Machine Guns. World Tag Team Championship matchup next week here on Monday Night Raw. That is sure to be a good one. And here comes a man who had himself a phenomenal debut here on Raw last week, and he is back in action, ready to do the same thing tonight.
The following contest is scheduled for one fall. Making his way to the ring from New Orleans, Louisiana, weighing in at 194 pounds, Ricky Singh!
I gotta say once again, ladies and gentlemen, it was a phenomenal showing for this young man in his Raw debut last week when he teamed up with the megastar LA Knight to take on Ludwig Kaiser and the World Heavyweight Champion Gunther in tag team action. Of course, LA Knight was originally scheduled to team up with CM Punk, but that is when CM Punk was taken out by the Vision and Ricky Saints had to step in. We're going to take a look back at that actually last week here on Monday Night Raw. Like we said, tag team action between Imperium, LA Knight, and Ricky Saints. Nobody knew who LA Knight's chosen tag team partner was going to be, and that is when the Absolute One's music would hit and Ricky Saints would arrive here on Monday Night Raw. Ricky Saints teaming up with LA Knight against Imperium, Ludwig Kaiser, and the World Heavyweight Champion Gunther. And I gotta say, what a position to put Ricky Saints in so early on in his tenure here on Monday Night Raw. We all know that Ricky Saints loves the spotlight, and that is exactly what he got in his debut matchup in the main event against the top dog here on the Red Brand. We take a look at the highlights. It was a back and forth affair between both teams. LA Knight and Ricky Saints looking to do the impossible, looking to defeat Imperium. It was a high, tall battle for them, especially since Ricky Saints was not even supposed to be in this matchup. It was originally supposed to be CM Punk. But it did not matter, as LA Knight and Ricky Saints gave Imperium the fight of their lives last week. What a phenomenal tag team contest it was. As you can see here, more highlights of this contest. Ricky Saints right now in the ring watching these highlights. He is very, very impressed with what happened last week, and as he should be, securing the big victory for his team, as we should see here in the upcoming moments. Here it is right here. Ricky Saints, the final blow on the Ludwig Kaiser, hitting the Rochambeau, and that would secure the victory over Imperium for his team. A phenomenal showing for Ricky Saints last week, and now tonight he looks to do it again in singles action as he takes on the Emperor of Lucha Libre, the leader of Legado del Fantasma. Santos Escobar is in the building, and you gotta think, of course, he is not alone.
And his opponent, representing Legado del Fantasma from Mexico City, Mexico, weighing in at 200 pounds, Santos
Santos
Escobar.
Escobar looking for a huge win to possibly get the momentum rolling here for Legado del Fantasma. It's been a while since we've seen these guys in a prime position here in the WWE. Santos Escobar looking to get his crew back on track, and that could start with a big victory over Ricky Saints here tonight in the middle of Dallas. Of course, Angel Umberto at the side of the Emperor of Lucha Libre. A former Cruiserweight champion is Santos Escobar. And we're going to see if he can show that championship pedigree here tonight. Ricky Saints ready to go. Santos Escobar also ready to go here tonight. As the bell rings, this matchup is underway. And you can see Ricky Saints having a little bit of fun with the, oh my goodness, with the WWE Universe. And that just cost him after that big running knee from Santos Escobar. Well, Santos clearly not here to play games here tonight. He is here, and he is all business in this one. Well, Ricky Saints, welcome to Monday Night Raw, I guess, even though he kind of had that moment last week taking on Gunther and Ludwig, especially right there, welcome to Monday Night Raw. These superstars are not going to allow you to do whatever you want to do. You better be locked in, you better be focused, or you're going to get hit quick and hard, just like that big running knee Santos gave him. And as you can see, because of that running knee, Ricky's had nothing out of the gates here, and Santos has been all over the absolute one. Santos now, big drop kick off the middle rope. He's going to run into the cover after that one. Referee in prime position here to see the shoulders kick out at 2 by Ricky Saints. See in the corner of your screen, that is Angel taking off that turnbuckle padding. Ricky Saints, though, trying to fight his way back into the contest. Big leg drop there by Ricky Saints. As Santos now not looking too good. Ricky Saints taunting Legado del Fantasma, the WWE Universe, behind the absolute one. Ricky now double axe handle off the apron. You can see how fired up Ricky Saints is. He's been fired up ever since last week, ever since his debut. He wants more. He wants more of the spotlight, and maybe tonight he can get more of that if he secures the victory over Santos Escobar here tonight. As, off the apron goes Santos face first. Ricky Saints now, what is the game plan? He's going to get back into the ring, and he's going to break the count. Smart there by Ricky Saints, and now he sends Santos back into the middle of the ring. And there's a running shoulder tackle there by Ricky. Ricky Saints, he wants it all. He wants to be world champion. At some point, he might want to hold the Intercontinental Championship. I don't think he really cares what it is. He just wants championship gold around his waist. And if he does things the right way here on Monday Night Raw, he could possibly see himself with championship gold in no time. Of course, if he keeps up the momentum he's already started to build here on the red brand. Santos is in deep trouble right now. Ricky Saints is all over the Emperor of Lucha Libre as Humberto and Angel look on in this contest. Big chop there by Ricky, followed up with a punch. And another chop there by Ricky. Right now, Ricky Saints all over Santos. Santos, though, sends him to the corner as, there's a running clothesline there by Escobar. Escobar's got Ricky Saints right where he wants him. And now to the back, followed it with a German suplex. Referee taking her time to get that turnbuckle situated. And now back to the back again. What is this? A belly to back there by Santos, keeps the hook. What's this here? Now a German by Santos, still has the hook. Santos Escobar now looking for that suplex. My goodness. Phenomenal offense there by Santos Escobar, falling into the cover on Ricky Saints, and unfortunately for Santos, it is not enough. What does Santos have to do to put away the absolute one here tonight? As face first goes Ricky onto the canvas. Ricky all out of sorts right now, having to use the ropes to pick himself up. Now Santos turns him around. Now puts him on the top rope. What the hell is happening here? What is going on here? Santos now. Oh my goodness! German suplex off the top rope by Santos Escobar. And now a kick to the gut. Santos possibly looking for the Mexican Destroyer. Ricky Saints could be out of it. Into the cover, hooking the leg is the Emperor of Lucha Libre, but unfortunately for him, it's not enough to put away the absolute one. What do you do now if you're Santos Escobar? How do you weather the storm of Ricky Saints as Ricky tries to fight his way back into the match? Oh my goodness, a spear out of nowhere! Santos just got cut in half. And now Ricky Saints in the middle of the ring looking for a little Rochambeau. The cover here on Santos Escobar. It's another victory for Ricky Saints here tonight. Ricky Saints collects another victory. First last week in tag team action over Ludwig and the World Heavyweight Champion Gunther. Now here tonight against Santos Escobar. It's been a solid start for the Absolute One in his tenure here on the red brand. I've got to say, ladies and gentlemen, as it stands right now, Ricky Saints just might be the next up.
Here is your winner, Ricky Saints.
Chalk up another one for the Absolute One. As Santos Escobar tries to figure out what went wrong and what happened here tonight. Yet another loss for Legado del Fantasma. But we need to focus on the winner. The spotlight all on Ricky Saints. Exactly what he wants. Ricky Saints picks up another huge win here tonight on Monday Night Raw. Wait a minute here. That is the music of Imperium. What is going on here is a wait a minute from behind Ludwig Kaiser. Well, Ludwig Kaiser, European elegance, clearly not taking too kindly to the loss last week, especially with him being the one pinned by Ricky Saints. And Ludwig Kaiser taking matters into his own hands, attacking the Absolute One. Well, Ludwig Kaiser, I just said it, clearly not too happy about what transpired last week. He probably feels a little bit embarrassed about what went down last week. As, oh my God, face first goes Ricky. And Ludwig Kaiser possibly looking to take out the trash here tonight. As, oh my God, once again downs Ricky Saints. Ludwig Kaiser's got a different look in his eyes here tonight, ladies and gentlemen. He's looking to take out Ricky Saints by any means necessary. Ricky now trying to fight his way back to his feet, but Ludwig's not going to allow it. Once again taking him down. The WWE Universe clearly not too happy about this development, as Ludwig, who was embarrassed last week by Ricky Saints, gets his get back here tonight in Dallas. Oh my God! Ludwig Kaiser, if I were you, I'd start heading for the hills. The ruler, Obafemi, is in the building, and he might also be looking to take out the trash. Well, there's a lot of history between Obafemi and Ricky Starks down in NXT. Of course, they are not friends by any means, but they do have a great deal of respect for each other. I don't know if that is the ruler's, motivation for coming out here right now, or maybe, just maybe, he needed to get his hands on somebody and to deliver a beat down. And unfortunately for Ludwig Kaiser, it seems like he is right for the picking in the middle of the ring. Oh my goodness, Obafemi gets inside the ring. Ludwig Kaiser doing his best to go after the ruler here. But oh no, Obafemi with the kick to the gut, and now looking for the fall from grace. Just like that, Ludwig Kaiser is taken out here tonight on Monday Night Raw. The ruler standing tall here tonight in the middle of Dallas, Texas. The ruler slowly but surely gaining traction here on the red brand. And if he continues his dominance, we might be talking about championship opportunities for the ruler in the future. Ricky Saints picked up the win, Ludwig took him out, and then Obafemi ends it all. In 2 weeks' time, after the Battleground Premium Live event, we will be live in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania at the Xfinity Mobile Arena for Saturday night's main event, where the Women's Tag Team Championships, the Women's Intercontinental Championship, and the Women's United States Championship will all be crowned. It is sure to be a good night in Philly in about 2 weeks. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we've had a developing issue between Women's World Champion Stephanie Vaquer and Natalya. This all started on the Raw after Backlash, after Stephanie Vaquer defeated Becky Lynch to become the Women's World Champion. And on that night, the Raw after Backlash, Stephanie Vaquer was going to come out and, speak with the WWE Universe, talk to them about how her championship win went. But before she could even do that, she was assaulted by the Queen of Hearts. Natalya would hit the ring and assault Stephanie Vaquer with this steel chair, and she would leave Stephanie Vaquer just beaten down, bloodied, all of the sort. Of course, Natalya and Stephanie Vaquer have a little bit of history. On the season premiere of Raw, it was Stephanie Vaquer taking on Natalya, and Stephanie was successful on that night. Of course, the week after, ladies and gentlemen, we would see Natalya and the Women's World Champion go one-on-one once again. A little bit of a rematch from the season premiere. And on that night, Stephanie Vaquer was looking for payback. She was looking for the big payback against Natalya. And my goodness, what a matchup it was. Brutal matchup going back and forth between these women, especially with now the more heated context that we have between these two rivals. Of course, Natalya wants that Women's World Championship. She wants to get payback on Stephanie Vaquer for defeating her on the season premiere Monday Night Raw. And with that ambush on Stephanie the week prior, it seemed like Stephanie was going into that matchup a little bit weakened. But of course, Natalya and Stephanie, they continue to go back and forth. Stephanie would not give in to the Queen of Hearts. She would not allow the Queen of Hearts to have her way. See here, Natalya had the sharpshooter locked in, but unfortunately for her, that would not be enough to end the matchup. But this right here, in fact, would end the matchup. As Stephanie Vaquer was trying to get to her feet, clearly Natalya had enough, would crack Stephanie over the skull with that steel chair, and that is not where this assault would end. Stephanie would win the matchup via disqualification, but Natalya just continued the assault, continuing to beat down the Women's World Champion, just like she did on the Raw after Backlash. Now she got a trash can, as you can see here. Natalya just doing whatever she could to hurt the Women's World Champion. Natalya was all over the champion, and then would lock in the sharpshooter once again in the middle of the ring, this time when Stephanie really had nothing left in her after the post-match assault, and Natalya would leave her there lying in the middle of the squared circle. And if you think that's where this ended, ladies and gentlemen, you must be mistaken, because let's take you to last week here on Monday Night Raw. After our huge tag team main event, we would cut the cameras and we would see Natalya and Stephanie Vaquer brawling amongst the stage and brawling amongst the WWE Universe. This issue between these two women has clearly hit a breaking point. These two women do not like each other at all, and this is all based on revenge. Natalya wants revenge. She wants payback for what happened on the season premiere, and Stephanie Vaquer wants revenge. She wants payback from all the assaults that Natalya has put upon her. This was a heated brawl throughout the crowd, ladies and gentlemen. They really went throughout the entire crowd, almost around the entire arena. But Stephanie Vaquer would then bring Natalya back into the ringside area. And this is when things really got hectic. Stephanie Vaquer would grab the steel chair that Natalya continuously had used on her over the last couple of weeks. And Stephanie would finally get the payback that she wanted. These two rivals, they want to beat the hell out of each other. They've been trying to pull each other's hair out. They've been doing whatever they can to beat the crap out of each other. Stephanie and Natalya, at some point, something's got to give. Something has got to give between these two women. There's got to be a way to settle it. As you can see here, the brawl would continue last week, even after they were first separated. As we said, something has got to give, and we have to finally have the final say, the final chapter between these two women in this heated rivalry. And that is going to go down next week on Monday Night Raw. The Women's World Championship is on the line. Natalya looks to take the title from the Women's Champion Stephanie Vaquer with one caveat. This matchup will have no disqualifications. Anything goes for the Women's World Championship between Natalya and Stephanie Vaquer next week. And we're going to stay in the women's division as we shift to another incident that has been going on in this division. The Nightmare, Rhea Ripley, is in the building, and she's had a lot of things on her mind over the last couple of days. Of course, Rhea Ripley has been involved in, I don't even know, this war, I guess you can call it, or this little battle, this struggle of power against Fatal Influence, that being JC Jane and Fallon Henley. Of course, the two newcomers here to Monday Night Raw who have made it their mission to attempt to take out Rhea Bloody Ripley. Of course, Rhea Ripley picked up the victory over Fallon Henley in singles action last week, and then we would see Fatal Influence hit the ring and assault Rhea and Io Sky after the matchup. Things are clearly not finished between Rhea Ripley, Io Sky, and Fatal Influence. And tonight, Rhea Ripley, the Nightmare, is going to give her 2 cents on the situation. Rhea Ripley clearly thought this issue would be over after she defeated Fallon Henley last week, but clearly she was proven wrong almost immediately. And now we will see what is next on the mind of Rhea Ripley in this entire ordeal. Well, there you have it. The challenge has been thrown out. Are we possibly going to get Rhea Ripley and Io Sky teaming up against Fatal Influence at Battleground? Well, what a night it has been here tonight in Dallas, here on Monday Night Raw. And next week, ladies and gentlemen, is sure not to disappoint. Of course, as we already know, the World Tag Team Championship will be on the line as Kofi Kingston and Xavier Woods, the New Day, finally get the shot that they have been searching for as they take on the champions, Alex Shelley and Chris Sabin, the Motor City Machine Guns. And then, of course, just announced not too long ago, the Women's World Championship will also be on the line next week here on the Red Brand. No disqualifications, anything goes between these two bitter rivals as Natalya, the Queen of Hearts, looks to take the championship away from Stephanie Baker. It is sure to be a good one next week. But also, coming up here soon, Saturday night's main event, 2 weeks after the Battleground Premium Live event, where the Women's Intercontinental Championship, the Women's United States Championship, and the Women's Tag Team Championships will be on the line. All of that live in Philadelphia. And speaking of Battleground, ladies and gentlemen, we are almost there. This was the final Raw. SmackDown will be the final SmackDown, and we will finally be there. The big event, live in the Dickies Arena in Fort Worth, Texas. Battleground is coming up very, very quickly. And some breaking news, ladies and gentlemen. It seems that the Tag Team Match Challenge, it has been made official. Rhea Ripley and Io Sky will finally get a fair 2-on-2 shot against the Rockstar Renegades in JC Jane and Fallon Henley. Fatal Influence, 2v2 with Rhea and Io. Also going down in Fort Worth, Bianca Belair and Jade Cargill, former best friends, now bitter enemies. This relationship has taken a complete 180, and now we will see these two go at it one-on-one at Battleground. Who is going to walk out of this one with their ego still intact? Also going down at Battleground, the Intercontinental Championship is on the line as Solo Sikoa, the leader of MFT, believes that Seth Rollins is the sole reason why his family is not at the top of the mountain. Well, he gets his chance to win the Intercontinental Championship from the Visionary as Rollins puts his gold on the line. The undisputed WWE Championship will be up for grabs as the champion Randy Orton is doing this favor for his good friend Sami Zayn. The championship is on the line. Can the ultimate underdog Sami Zayn finally claim his first world title here in WWE, or will Randy Orton run right through him? Triple threat action going down in Fort Worth as these three men, basically ever since the season premiere of SmackDown, have been at each other's necks and is going to write another chapter. Finn Balor of the Judgment Day, Cody Rhodes, and Drew McIntyre. Only one of these three men can walk out victorious. The WWE Women's Championship will be on the line as the champion, the Judgment Day's Liv Morgan, has done everything she can to make sure Lyra Valkyria does not get this title shot. But unfortunately for her, Lyra's got the shot. Will Lyra Valkyria be able to end the rise of the Judgment Day before it even starts? And the World Heavyweight Championship is on the line. We will see the champion Gunther in just a matter of moments in our main event. But the megastar LA Knight gets his shot. He gets his wish. Will he fulfill his destiny at becoming World Heavyweight Champion, or will the Ring General take down the megastar? It is going to be a great night at Battleground, ladies and gentlemen. But before we get there, we've got one more matchup to go, and it is main event time here in the American Airlines Center. As the World Heavyweight Champion Gunther, it is now his time to see who LA Knight has chosen to face the champion here tonight in our main event. The focus on the Ring General is unparalleled.
contest is scheduled for one fall. Making his way to the ring from Vienna, Austria, weighing in at 250 pounds, the World Heavyweight Champion, Gunther!
Of course, unfortunately for Gunther earlier tonight, his selection of Elio Del Vikingo was unsuccessful at stopping LA Knight in his tracks. But Gunther cannot worry about that. He can worry about that at another time. Right now, he has to worry about who he is about to face in the main event here tonight. Who he is about to face, the hand-picked opponent, the hand-picked poison, if you say, from the megastar. Hopefully, LA Knight picked himself a good superstar to face Gunther here tonight. As you can see the look on Gunther's face, he's already not too happy. And he's looking to dish out some punishment. And he is looking to make sure his momentum is not thwarted. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, ladies and gentlemen. This matchup is certainly going to be something. Penta is in the building, ready to take on the Ring General.
And his opponent from Ecatepec, Mexico, weighing in at 94 kilos,
Y'all, I'm not gonna lie, I got goosebumps. I'm getting all giddy over here. I mean, this matchup right here could be a championship matchup on any day of the week, and we're getting it for free right here, right now, here tonight in the main event of Monday Night Raw. A phenomenal pick by the megastar LA Knight. Penta and Gunther one-on-one in the middle of Dallas. I mean, I've got to say, ladies and gentlemen, this right here could be an early match of the year contender. Penta and Gunther one-on-one. Oh my goodness, I might have to stand up for this. I might have to stand up for this, and the bell hasn't even rung yet. Here we go. This matchup's gonna get underway. Gunther and Penta. Like I said, this could be a championship matchup on any day of the week, and we're getting it right here, right now, here tonight. It is a non-title matchup, but this is a huge opportunity for Penta. Now Penta looking to do his thing against Gunther, showing him that he has zero fear. And now here we go. It's an early lockup. Penta had the early advantage, but clearly now Gunther has had enough, and they're looking to lock up here. And as you can see, Gunther using his power advantage over Penta. We get a clean break right there. Now Gunther just laughing in the face of Penta here. Now we're going to lock up again. Who's going to get the upper hand this time around? Will it be the champion, or will it be the man with zero fear? They're still jockeying for position. This is taking a while to see who is going to get the upper hand. And here we go. Gunther has the headlock. Gunther has the headlock in the middle of the ring on Penta. But Penta able to fight his way out of that one. Ooh. Grabs a hold of his own. Now what's the game plan here? Who's going to get the advantage? Gunther now able to get out of that into the hammer lock. Jockeying for position. Here comes Penta taking down the Ring General. Now he's got the A-frame. Getting a good bit of chain wrestling here to kick this off after the quick start by Penta when he was able to take down Gunther with the Hurricane Rana. Penta's got the hammer lock locked in here. Oh, big back elbows there by the Ring General as he's able to fight his way out of that predicament and pulls him in for the lariat. And now Gunther might be weathering the storm. Try for the chop. Penta able to get away from that. Here comes Penta now. What's he looking to do here? As now, oh my goodness, jawjacker there by Gunther into the big boot. As you can see here, these two men still in a little bit of the feeling out process. You saw what they were doing in the chain there, trying to get a feeling for each other, trying to see exactly what they want to do. And now that Gunther has that data in his brain, he is on the attack. Cold and calculated is the World Heavyweight Champion. That is exactly why he is the World Heavyweight Champion, why he was able to defeat CM Punk back at Backlash to win the gold. And now, as you can see here, Gunther is in control against Penta. And right now, Gunther, oh my goodness, just tossing him across the ring by his leg, y'all. Unbelievable. Both men now on the outside of the ring here. Gunther's got Penta on his shoulders. And now Gunther drops him face first on the apron. And now Gunther starting to talk a little bit of smack. As you can see, he is clearly in control of the contest. Sending Penta back into the squared circle. Gunther now starting to feel himself a little bit. The World Heavyweight Champion starting to talk a little bit of trash. As, oh, wait a minute, he didn't see Penta coming. Well, Gunther got a little bit too cocky right there, because now Penta, with that suicide dive, puts himself back into the match. And now, what does Penta do? The extraordinary luchador. He's going to get back in the ring after sending Gunther back into the ring as well. Now to the second rope goes Penta. Gunther tries for the punch. Penta doesn't allow it. To the top with a crossbody. Hooking the leg off of that Penta. Looking for a huge win kick out by the champion. And now, oh my goodness, Penta flying through the air. And the extraordinary luchador, the man with zero fear, in full control. As now sling blade there by Penta. Penta starting to stack the offense against the Ring General. What is Penta's game plan now? Ooh, jawjacker there by Gunther. Kick to the gut now by Gunther, and oh no. He's got Penta up in this powerbomb position, and he nearly folds Penta like an accordion. Into the cover now goes Gunther, and there's a kick out by Penta. And now Gunther off of the ropes. Oh my goodness, dropping himself down onto Penta. And now Gunther with some smacks there, smacking the life out of Penta. And now there's a chop there by Gunther. Now Gunther starting to get into the control of things, get into the swing of things. Now here's where Gunther looks to load all of his interior onto Penta, excuse me. Gunther going deep in the bag, looking to see what he can do to weaken down Penta and to secure this victory. She scrunching the neck, ranking the neck of Penta. Wrenching at Penta, trying to weaken him down. On the ropes goes Penta. Gunther has Penta right where he wants him. And now using the rope to assist with that stomp is the Ring General. Gunther going into it, a very important title defense at Battleground. He wants to make sure he is as sharp as he can be. And that's exactly what he is doing right here, right now. Looking to do anything he can to weaken down Penta. And there's a clothesline squishing Penta in the corner. And as you can see, Gunther not going for very many pins. He looks to dismantle, to dissect Penta before he believes that he can put him away with a pinfall or maybe even put him in that submission, that sleeper hold. And there's a big maneuver there. He believes he might have it here into the cover by Gunther and kick out by Penta. Gunther's got to do a little bit more work to take down Penta. Now off the ropes once again. Oh my gosh. Gunther right now enjoying the moment. Dissecting Penta, letting LA Knight know that this could be him in Fort Worth. And now Gunther has a hold of the extraordinary luchador. Has him on his shoulders here. And now Gunther, oh my goodness! Will that do it? Gunther now going for yet another pin, and this time Penta gets the shoulder up again. Gunther now starting to get a little bit frustrated. He thinks he should have probably put Penta away already, but clearly Penta still has a lot of fight left. There's a super kick. A super kick that immediately downs the champion. Big strikes here by Penta onto Gunther. Now Penta, oh my goodness, a tornado DDT off the springboard. Penta right now is feeling it. And now Penta is going to send Gunther to the corner. Penta getting a burst of speed. Oh my God. Penta might have hurt himself on that one. Into the German. Penta starting to feel it. The WWE Universe slowly but surely starting to come up as Penta has the advantage. Off the ropes. Here comes Penta trying something big here, but Gunther able to fight out of that one. Into the belly to back. And just like that, Gunther right back in control. And oh, there's that big lariat that nearly takes Penta's head off. But unfortunately for Gunther, it is not enough to defeat Penta here tonight. This is Dallas, Texas, the American Airlines Center. Our main event here on Monday Night Raw, the final Raw before Battleground, is the World Heavyweight Champion Gunther going up against Penta, the man that LA Knight single-handedly selected to face the Ring General here tonight. And what a matchup it has been. Like I said, this could potentially be an early Match of the Year candidate. What is going to happen here? Penta on the top, looking for a superplex on the champion. Gunther is down. Penta's got him right where he wants him. And right now, the man with zero fear, looking for the win, looking for the Penta driver. Into the cover. He's got Gunther right where he wants him. Gunther able to power out at 2. Oh my goodness, the Penta driver couldn't get it done. But Penta, he's not going to let that get him down. He's back on the top rope. He's looking for something huge. Penta now, looking for the crossbody. He's got it again. And Penta flying once again, doing anything he can to take out the Ring General. And now Penta looking for that tornado DDT off the springboard once again. Stacking the offense is Penta into the cover. Will this be enough to beat Gunther? No, it's not. What do you do if you're Penta? You've hit all your best shots. You got the champion reeling. But at the end of the day, Gunther is still in the fight. Wait a minute here. Gunther sent to the outside. And now Penta may be looking to fly here. What's going to happen? Through the ropes with the boots. Penta firing himself up alongside the WWE Universe. Penta is in control of the champion. Is this the moment that Penta is going to seize his opportunity? Frog splash to the back. What does he do to capitalize? Penta, no, can't get a hold of Gunther. Gunther now sends Penta to the corner. There's a nice uppercut. Gunther's got to fight his way back into this matchup. It's been a little bit. Penta had been in control for the last few moments. But the Ring General always has a plan. There's usually nothing to worry about when it comes with Gunther. Oh boy, Gunther with the power bomb. Folding Penta like a damn accordion. But unfortunately for Gunther, the one power bomb isn't enough. You know, Gunther might be furious. Gunther might be starting to get hot right now. He's got a hold of Penta, puts him in the corner. Now has Penta on the top rope. What is Gunther looking to do here? There's a big chop by Gunther. What is this? Gunther now. Oh my God. Wait a minute here. Gunther now. We've seen him do this before. Gunther to the top with that big splash. Surely that's it. Into the cover on Penta. Penta still has life. What do you do if you're the ring general? And now Penta sent to the outside. Gunther may have had enough. He might be taking a count-out victory if he can. Referee has begun his count. Penta still out of it here in front of the announce table. And now Penta starting to stir. And that is what Gunther realizes as he hurries to the outside and puts down Penta again. What does Gunther do? Oh no. Looking for this powerbomb position is Gunther. He's got Penta on the apron. And oh my God. That might do it. Penta is down. Referee trying to tell Penta to get back into the ring. Penta starting to stir. It's a count of 6 by the official. Penta on the apron. Gunther going to try to come get him here. Penta, though, able to fight out of that. Here comes Penta off the springboard. Can't get the crossbody because Gunther moved out of the way. There's a big boot for Penta's troubles. Now Gunther. He's got Penta right where he wants him. Looking for that sleeper. Penta not going to allow it. Oh, there's a super kick. Penta now on the middle rope. What is Penta gonna be able to do here? Gunther still groggy. Penta with a crossbody. Penta not wasting any movement. He's got Gunther right where he wants him. Into the corner now. Oh, wait a minute. Could Penta possibly looking for that huge Mexican Destroyer? That's it! Penta's gonna pin Gunther! He's gonna pin Gunther right here, right now! Never mind, you've gotta be kidding me! What does Penta have to do? Both of these men continuing to fight. Gunther with a big power slam. Gunther now in firm control. As there's another lariat. What do either of these men have to do? Gunther again, taking Penta's head off. Penta is down. Gunther has the upper hand. And now Gunther, what is he doing? Bringing Penta to the corner. Has him on the top rope now. There's a big chop by Gunther. Gunther now has Penta where he wants him again with that big throw. And now the ring general may be looking for the finishing touches. Another power bomb, stacking up the extraordinary luchador. And Gunther prevails. A hard-fought battle from Penta. What a contest. What a matchup. But the same thing that happened with LA Knight earlier tonight when Gunther's pick was unsuccessful. It seems like LA Knight's pick, unfortunately, came so close, but yet still couldn't get the job done. But Penta showed something here tonight. He can hang with the big dogs. I think everybody already knew that, but it is solidified now. And now Gunther has the momentum and the sharpness that he is going to need going into the World Heavyweight Championship matchup in Fort Worth, Texas.
Here is your winner,
Well, Gunther knows he was in a battle here tonight, and it's not going to get easier at Battleground. Gunther is battle tested. He is prepared for his big contest. Thank you for watching Raw here tonight. The Raw Superstars will see you in Fort Worth. And these two will be meeting for the top prize here on the Red Brand. Gunther, LA Knight, one-on-one at Battleground for the World Heavyweight title.